Well, since nothing's stopping us, I guess we might as well enter Castle Fynn, and upon entering, we actually find Proto-Ferris. We've been away from her for maybe 10 or 20 minutes, and she's already back in our party. Okay, that doesn't really make much of a difference. Again, fourth party member, never really all that interesting. The only reason she's any different from Gordon is because I gave her a bow instead of a spear, so that's pretty much their only difference. They're still nothing amazing stat-wise. Anyway, you might notice, but we have actually fought these enemies before. But the thing is, there's a grand total of maybe one new enemy in this entire dungeon. And even then, it's not that amazing of an enemy. And the thing is, this is supposed to be a big moment in the game. I mean, this has been our major goal since the very start, just to retake Fynn, and here we are, we're already doing it. There was really no build-up to it whatsoever other than just the fact that it was on our list of things to do. And here we are, we're just doing it because we got through a dungeon and then suddenly the rebels were camped across from the lake and they already had done most of the work for us. So we just have to traverse this as if it were a normal dungeon, and honestly, it's not bad design-wise. I mean, it's a nice-looking castle. The layout, it's more like your standard castle because, well, that's what it is. It's not really made to be a dungeon. It's just a normal castle we're going through, except filled with enemies, like these guys, who are totally tough, right? Look at that, he's using Flare 10. Isn't that great? Isn't this so tough? I mean, again, we've seen these enemies before, but there's gotta be something, right? I don't want to make this anticlimactic. I mean, we're supposed to feel like we're fighting through this stronghold of enemies and that we need to retake Fynn Castle, and so far, the game just hasn't really done that much of a good job of actually portraying it. I mean, I know it's an NES game. They don't have the most to work with in terms of story. I mean, again, it's rather limited. You can only do so much, but they can do more than this, right? They could do more than this thing. It's just a normal dungeon. It's just so anticlimactic, really. I don't know any other way to say it. It's just, they build the whole thing up for the game. Well, again, not really build it up, but it's looming in the background, and now we're suddenly doing it, and it's just nothing impressive. It's just another dungeon. But I suppose we might as well just go around and get treasure. I mean, you've seen these enemies now, and they are fairly common, so at least they're somewhat tough enemies in this dungeon. There's that, but still, it's nothing amazing. So all we can do is just go around and get the treasure, which so far has just been money. So we've got 4,000 gil from this, which is hardly useful because we got, again, 40,000 gil from a tile match game. We can do at any point, so really money's not that useful. Is there anything good? Anything? What's in here? Death Tome? No. Break Tome? No. Toad. Basically just a bunch of one-hit kill spells, so nothing really that amazing. Alright, well, I guess we're done with the first floor, but maybe the second floor will actually prove to be some sort of challenge, right? There's gotta be something here to work with, you know, something to make this exciting, right? Let's see what we got in this here chest. We got a potion, really? We got a monster in a box, really? This would almost be funny if it weren't so annoying. Seriously, these enemies aren't even tough anymore. The Revenants are like the one good enemy that are here. Look at that, they can at least do good damage. There's that, but they don't have much else. Okay, that guy's got Blind 4, and as I said before, even if it doesn't hit you, which thank goodness it didn't because Blind's annoying, it's still a relatively long attack animation. It's not that long, yeah, but it's longer than you want it to be, let's go with that. So we'll just kill these guys and be done with it, and then we'll be back in the area so we can do more treasure hunting in this incredibly interesting area. I mean, really, not even the music is really well suited for it. Again, it's just normal dungeon music. This isn't even getting me pumped up for, you know, retaking a castle. I don't feel excited to be kicking these guys out and retaking Fynn after all this time. It's just sort of there. And we got the Auratome. Aura's... it's decent. It's kind of confusing how it works, because basically it adds a sort of weakness to your basic attacks. Well, your basic attacks become strong against certain types of enemies. I forget what adds what. Like, every time you gain a level, you can kill certain types of enemies better, but I don't really remember what it was, because it's just kind of weird. It's not like elemental weakness, it's weakness to a specific type of monster, which is why it's kind of strange. I don't really get it. I mean, it's not a horrible spell, but you won't see me using it all that much, because it's really not that useful. So let's just finish these guys off. Thank you kindly. And we can get on with our lives. I think there's at least one more chest in here, right? Yeah, I believe there's a secret passage right here. There we go. Anything good in here? Please tell me yes. Werebuster? No, that's not good anymore. So, you know what else is anticlimactic about this area? I'm now going on the correct path. This is the last floor of the dungeon. Yes, seriously. I went after treasures, which means we spent some time here. But the correct path to end this entire thing is to just go straight up the stairs. Yes, that is actually what you have to do. Again, this is so damn anticlimactic. It's like, oh, retake Fynn by walking upstairs. Oh boy, how will our heroes ever get through this alive? And again, we've already seen these enemies. I'm just keeping it in so something happens, because we're at the end already. Like, look at this. We're just gonna go here. Oh, look, it's the boss. Here he is. I don't even know what he's talking about, but who cares? Anyway, this is Godos. We got a preemptive strike against him. He's easy. I mean, he has haste, which raises his speed and thus the number of times he can attack, and he has imbibe, which raises his attack power. That's it. That's all he has. And you know what you have to do to beat this incredibly complex boss? You just hit him a lot. This is all you have to do. Oh, he's got good defense. Lovely. Well, at least there's that. Actually, now that I think of it, I think Mossmone can actually use haste if you use it, so, I might not be buffing myself correctly. For the time being, let's just put up our buffs, and let's just hit him a lot. And yeah, it's just this boring boss theme. So yeah, this is it, guys. We're retaking Fynn. Are you feeling the excitement right now? I'm feeling totally excited about this. I'm feeling totally excited. I'm just gonna look at other things that are more interesting, like, oh look, there's paint drying over there. Isn't that just great? Wow, look at that paint dry. Isn't that amazing? Oh, look at that paint. It's just so determined to take that wall. It's going to be paint on that wall. I admire that paint. Some determined paint. Uh-oh, look, there's a bug over there. Oh, what's it doing? Flying in circles. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Oh, man, look at that exciting bug. It's like some sort of action bug. Oh, by the way, the battle's over. I hope you noticed. Well, of course you noticed. After all of that excitement... And we're done. Yep, that's Fynn retaken. And that's all she has to say. Woo. Anything else? Come on. Really? That's... Okay, thank goodness. Dude, just give me something interesting to do, alright? And she asks us to go to Mysidia, so let's just learn about what we need to do there. Have I shown you my death sword? I don't think I actually have. It's very deadly. I could probably stab him to death with it. Anyway, yeah, she doesn't actually tell you about the masks. She just tells you to go for Mysidia first, and if you don't ask about Mysidia, then, well, you don't know to do this. So yes, there's actually a white mask in this castle, but we don't know where it is. But we do know that we need these words in order to find it. But unfortunately, Hilda doesn't actually know this place's layout somehow, so we need to find the door ourselves. Really? You did most of the work for us. You broke down the gates. It wouldn't have been difficult to go up the stairs. Anyway, yes, he will also tell you about Mysidia, but he'll also mention the Ultima Tome, which I don't believe we've actually learned yet. Nope, we have not. That's a new term. So, what about, did we ask him about the mask? No, apparently he doesn't know about that, but he does know about the words we need to use to find the mask. And yeah, Paul knows the location of it better than the princess. That's great. The person who lives here doesn't actually know the layout, but a thief does. Isn't that wonderful? Good old royalty of Fynn. You are terrible. So yeah, apparently Ultima is important for killing monsters. Woo. But that doesn't really tell us much, so I guess we'll just explore the castle now it's been retaken. Yeah, I was in there, I don't need to know. Oh, thank you for telling me. How observant. Are any of you... No, none of you are useful. We already knew that. Thanks for the advice. There are books in Mysidia. How would I have ever known? But yeah, that's it. We retook Fynn. Everything else we did before retaking Fynn was far more interesting. We found out all the dragoons had died, we were thrown in prison, and we escaped prison, and then we walked up some stairs, killed a man, and now we've reclaimed our homeland. You're all feeling the excitement, right? Next time on Final Fantasy II, we will do something that's not this. We'll go find Ultima. That's bound to be tons more exciting.